Earlier, I was talking about using words properly, and we talked about scalability. So now I've got a different word I want to talk about, and that's transparent when it refers to transparent pricing. Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore, founder of foodtrucktraining.group. Today I'm talking again about getting the definition of a word right, and that's transparent. A lot of businesses, when they try to get you on their bandwagon of, hey, join us, one of the things they'll say is, we have transparent pricing. Well, let me take you through a scenario. Somebody that was bragging about, hey, I've got transparent pricing. So I went to the website. First thing I noticed was there's no price lists. Pricing can't be transparent if I can't find it. And in fact, the only way to get pricing was to schedule a consultation, a demonstration, a quote unquote free demonstration. What that means is you are now on some salesperson's list where they're going to call you up and apply differing amounts of pressure to get you to buy their particular product. And they'll give all kinds of reasons why you should buy it. Some of them will be truthful. Some of them are not going to be truthful. One of the ones that tend to be really untruthful, and I've talked about this in videos and written about it, are the people that do the cash discount schemes. And they are the ones that also are very notorious for saying we have transparent pricing, but you can't find out what anything is going to cost you unless you talk to a salesperson who's going to apply pressure. They're going to spout out a whole bunch of statistics that, of course, you're not going to be able to defend because you don't know where they got them from or if they're even accurate. So let's talk about the cash discount scheme. And that's what it is. It's a scheme. What they're going to suggest you do is take your prices and you create two price structures, because the idea is for you to get quote unquote free credit card processing. So they're going to hide that by calling it a cash discount. So you have two price structures. One is for somebody that's going to whip out their credit card and you're going to charge them a different price than somebody that whips out a $20 bill. So that already presents a problem, because let's say two friends step up. They order the identical meal and they're just standing there talking, and the first one's going to pay you with the cash, and you say, hey, that's going to be $10. And he goes, awesome, here's a 10, throws a couple bucks in your tip jar and steps off to the side. His buddy steps up, orders the exact same meal, whips out a credit card, and you say, that's going to be $10.40. And he says, why? My friend just paid $10 even. And then you got to start fumbling around saying, well, you credit card and processing, and I don't understand how to run my business, so I'm charging you for the credit card processing. You might as well just go ahead and admit, I'm an idiot. I can't balance my financial situation, so I'm going to charge you for the privilege of giving me money. So effectively, you have two price structures. You can only, if you're using this particular scheme, you can only have the discount equal to 4%. Because what that means is that the credit card processing is a 4% increase in pricing. So if you are selling something at $10, when you start your quote unquote free credit card processing, you actually are increasing prices on anybody that whips out a credit card by that 4%, so that $10 product becomes a $10.40 product. So you have to have some ridiculous disclaimer that says we give a cash discount to people that pay cash. Now, most of y'all know people can't even read the ingredients that you put on your products, because they're going to ask you, hey, does that come with lettuce? When your menu explicitly says it has lettuce. So what in the world makes you think they're going to read down wherever you've got this stupid disclaimer and read it and then read it and understand it? They're not. So all you're doing is setting yourself up to start an argument, because I know the difference in the prices. Most intelligent people do. So having two price structures just makes you look like a gas station. And I really don't want my food being associated with a gas station. So I want you to think about, when you have two different price structures, that means one class of guests pays a different price than another class of guests based on their preferred payment choice. The food industry is all about guest service. I've said this many times. And a food truck cannot claim they give great service when they treat people differently. And I would certainly think that someone who claims to have a food background would have already learned that. Now think about the disclaimer that you have to put out for people to see. It says that we encourage people to pay with cash because our prices are discounted for people that pay with cash. So if I'm a thief, if I'm going to rob you, you've just told me you carry more cash than other places would carry. So you become a prime target. You're an easier payday because you have to have not only all the cash that those people are paying you to get their little piddly discount, but you also have to have backup change to be able to break those 20s and those 50s and those occasional hundreds. So you've got more cash than you would normally carry because you've got a cash discount scheme going on. But I can guarantee you the website will never talk about that, and that salesperson will never mention that to you because that gives you information for you to be able to say, no, I don't want to do this stupid thing. So I want you to think about this. The discount on the cash, every discount sale. So if you are 50% credit card and 50% cash, that discount becomes your what? Say it with me. It's your credit card processing fee. Because you are now not making as much money as you potentially could. Because if a certain number of your guests say, hey, your food is worth this extra little bit you're charging me, then all your guests would say your food is worth that. So you are giving away the cash discount is actually, it's your processing fee. And that's all that it is. And remember, the maximum amount is 4%. And that's what every salesperson is going to encourage you to do. Do that top 4% because that's what we're going to take out of it. So you know that they're making a whole bunch more extra money because the processing fees are not going to be 4% for them. Even if they were to piggyback on Square, they're making the difference in the 2.6% to the 4%. That's their profit, and you're giving it to them. So you are actually paying more in credit card processing fees by giving that discount than if you'd have just went with Square in the first place. Now, there's going to be a lot of research that's thrown out at you. And they're going to say, well, this number and this number and this number. And there's actually research that suggests that 71% of customers avoid businesses that charge additional fees. So think about that. People that read your little stupid disclaimer, they're going to know that, oh, that means they're charging more. I'm going to pay cash today and I'll never come back here again. Think about that. 71% of people avoid businesses that charge additional fees. How come you never hear about that? That's one of the reasons why these cash discount schemes are called the less than honest cash discount, because they don't want people to think, oh, they're being charged additional fees, when in fact they are. So you create a gray area that you're hiding behind. But I want you to also think about this. There is no research on the amount of money spent on a card in establishments that use a cash discount scheme. Because one of the things that credit card companies will tell you when you do this is people spend more money typically on average when they use a credit card. And to an extent, that is true. But again, there's no research on the establishments that use a cash discount scheme. So we really don't know how much more, if any, those credit card users are paying or buying. And why is that? Because it would require the survey to take place at the point of the transaction. And at the same time, inform the cardholder, hey, you just paid more by using your credit card. How does that make you feel? And as soon as they hear those words, they're not going to feel good. So that's why there's no surveys about cash credit card schemes, because you couldn't ask them after the fact. You have to ask them in real time when they're being gouged for that extra 4%. And then another question that the survey would have to ask, again, at the point of purchase, after they've scanned their card, would you have bought less today had you paid cash? And in all likelihood, on a food truck, they would have bought the identical amount, because they're buying exactly what they need. Which, of course, if they were to think about what they just paid in the first place, they could have actually paid cash and then used the difference of that little discount to buy more food, since the food has a more tangible value. So they could have spent that 40 cents on getting an additional slice of cheese. So the bottom line is, if a company tells you we have transparent pricing and you can't find the pricing when you go to their website, they've already lied to you. If they require you to do a free demo or require you to set up a free consultation, that's just more gray area nonsense to tell you we're going to put a salesperson on the line and pressure you into using our service. So I'm, as you can tell, on the kick of use the words the way they were really intended. Free means free. We don't need to call something a cash discount to pretend like we have free credit card processing. Think of it this way. If you were to go out and buy a package of buns, does it make the bun free because you listed on the receipt, I'm charging you 40 cents for the bun? Does that make it free? No, it doesn't. So when you're charging somebody an extra 40 cents for that $10 ticket because they whipped out a credit card, doesn't make it free. If you guys are enjoying the podcast, please hit the support button. It does mean the world to me. Every little bit helps. If you guys haven't already joined the Facebook group, it's called Food Truck Training. What in the world are you waiting for if you haven't already joined? Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys next time.